from Los Angeles, California, with the Mad Scientist Party Hour.
What is up, friends? And welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name is Kevin Kraft, joined once again by a man who has no pants or underwear on and is currently giving the tip of his boner a noogie. That's Geoff Clark.
What's up?
And transmitting to us from a higher plane of existence, a man who can't stop microdosing his own boogers, Shuddy Boy.
Yo!
Alright, and I guess I have to fucking do this.
Shuddy. No,
You just got shuddied, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's for Danny from earlier on Twitter.
Yeah, you shuddied a guy on the internet?
Yeah. Yep.
And now you want the world to know.
He just said that
he best not miss.
Boy, these Mondays come quick, don't they? Holy fucking shit.
It really does. It feels like we just recorded.
Yeah, it's
But I mean,
just
I
about
guess
September.
technically we did, since Thursday was the last time we saw each other.
Yeah, I mean, with essentially doing like a 2-hour free pod every week, just about an hour-long Patreon show every week, and now with these double dipping MasterChef episodes, that's like another 90 minutes. I'm sick of my own fucking voice at this point.
At least. I feel like we do, I think some of the Crafter Jeff episodes that we do are longer than the actual MasterChef episodes.
Oh,
Especially
God,
if you fast forward through commercials.
Yeah, because I watched them the next day on Hulu, and they're boiled down to like 42 minutes or so.
You have ad-free Hulu?
Yeah, Carl does. We use hers, but
Nice.
now that we're under one roof, like our next step is trying to figure out how to fucking consolidate streaming services. And between the two of us, we do have Disney, Hulu, and what's the other one? HBO?
Isn't Disney?
I don't know. There's some new triple bundle out there.
I feel like it's Disney, Hulu, and ESPN Plus is the triple bundle.
Oh, well, I have no interest in that. I would actually get if it was ESPN the Ocho. Now my ears are perked up. Now I'm more willing to open up my wallet.
But if Disney, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, that package is cheaper than Hulu and Disney combined, then you would still do it, right?
Yeah.
Just not.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't pay attention to ESPN Plus.
The problem is that combo package isn't commercial free.
Oh.
So what do you
Maybe it'll
have,
be worth
Kevin?
it.
Jesus.
Between the two of us?
Yeah.
I mean, we have close to everything.
I think I do too. I have ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, Max, HBO Max.
Netflix,
I just got Hulu,
Paramount.
so Netflix, Paramount,
Prime.
Apple TV,
Oh, I don't have Apple.
Prime.
No Apple here.
You broke bitch.
That is accurate.
Apple is the only one that I axed also.
See, I would sign up for Apple if they had more than just Apple stuff, and I get that's why their monthly fee is so much lower. But it's like, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of series, and I don't know. I guess there's not enough original Apple movies for me to just pay a monthly subscription when there's, like, if it had other cycling shit like the other streamers, perhaps. But I mean, since we just happened to stumble upon a discussion about streaming, I won't ask you this question, Geoff, because I know the answer. You're born in the 1900s like me and Shuddy, but you're a fucking weirdo who didn't grow up watching the Ninja Turtles. Shuddy, have
Yes,
you?
I did.
I thought you hated.
Whoa.
I thought you weren't a Turtles
Whoa.
fan.
Whoa. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Whoa.
I retract my statement then. What there was something like you that like was just a staple of anybody in our age group's childhood, and you just weren't into it. I could have sworn it was Ninja
you
Turtles.
literally picked pretty much the only thing that you could like. I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and X-Men.
Okay.
I watched the Spider-Man cartoon. That's about it, and like wrestling, which obviously we're talking about. Did Fantastic Four have a cartoon? I feel like I watched that for a brief moment.
Silver Surfer did.
They did.
I watched some cartoons. I'm trying to think of the big one that I didn't watch that you're kind of referencing.
I could have sworn it was Ninja Turtles, but either way, they put out that new Ninja Turtle series, the one that's like continuing the newest movie, the newest animated one. Have you checked any of that out?
Well, funny you ask that, because last night Draven and I watched Mutant Mayhem and then the first 2 episodes of Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I wish, and I know it's an unfair wish, but I wish they could have done the same animation style for the series. But I get that that's probably ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, so that was a tough adjustment to make, and also them just not recasting Master Splinter's voice.
Yeah, and just making him speak in garbled gobbledygook.
Yeah, in vermin.
Yeah.
Sound like a rat. That really bothers me so far.
Yeah, it appears that they did not have the checkbook to convince Jackie Chan to do a voice on a TV series.
Which is fine. Just get somebody else to do the voice.
I kind of agree.
I don't think it would have taken away anything from the cartoon to have a different actor voice Master Splinter.
So the first few episodes, each turtle gets their own like solo episode. They all get split up. So I was kind of like, not sure I appreciate that element, because the whole fun of the turtles is having them all together and, them using their fighting skills in unison and teaming up. So like once they like all got back together, I was like, I still like the early episodes, but later in, once everybody's reunited, that's when I was like, all right, cool. I'm way more into this.
Okay, good, because that's my problem. Like, it was almost infuriating watching them trying to do an episode by themselves.
Although I haven't seen them all yet, so maybe they do split them up again, but I don't know.
Like,
I want unity amongst my turtles.
All that first episode, I was like, why is Leonardo not using his fucking swords on the robot? Like, why is he not swinging one of these goddamn blades at this thing? Like, why is he running from it? And like, what do? I don't know. Take out the fucking swords from your back and hack it into pieces.
Wow, the Ninja Turtles just got shuddied.
Like, it was infuriating. I looked over to Draven after like 10 minutes of this nonsense. I go, why doesn't he just use his fucking sword?
Speaking of Draven, does he have any interest in the reboot of his namesake?
We are going to see it this weekend.
Oh my god. All right.
We are... Listen, we discussed it this afternoon. It is not that we want to see it. It's that we feel an obligation to see it. We both do not think it looks good. The early reviews of it have not, and when I say early, I mean since it's released this weekend, have not been good.
If I could throw something out there into the ether,
but
for these people making the decisions about these reimagined characters, if a character is supposed to be dark and brooding / intimidating, the least intimidating thing you could do is relaunch them as a SoundCloud rapper. It just looks so fucking stupid. It looked fucking stupid when you did it with the Joker, and it looks fucking stupid on the Crow.
Well, considering the Crow just looks like Wish Joker from Suicide Squad.
Or the front man of D Antwoord.
Um, Draven said the internet is saying that the action is good, but that's about it. So it might just be a sheer popcorn movie. Like it might be fun to see because the action is good, but it only did $4.6 million this weekend.
Oh yeah, it ate a big old turd sandwich.
Whereas Deadpool and Wolverine did 18.3 million.
Oh my god. I mean, I was looking at, like we were talking about last week. I do like trying to make a visit to the movies once a week, and I was like, man, I just don't think I can bring myself to give money to The Crow. I feel like bad ideas need to be spanked. So
Coraline, with its 15th anniversary re-release in 1,400 theaters, made $5 million, where The Crow in 2,700 theaters did 4.6 million.
God damn. I mean, Coraline does kick ass. That's a sick movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not throwing shade at Coraline, but that's readily available.
Yeah.
Out there in the world, and people, $5 million worth of moviegoers decided that they'd rather see that than.
Well, I did see a movie that flew under my radar this weekend, but I'll save that for later.
Blink Twice?
No, one that I didn't even know existed until trying to figure out a movie to watch.
You went to a theater for it?
Yeah.
I went to a theater for a random movie too yesterday with my brothers.
Guys.
Bill tried to talk us into going to see The Crow on Tuesday movie night. Cheech turned him down of all people. What's up, Shuddy?
How much do you think Borderlands made this past weekend?
Oh God. They already announced that it's going to VOD in a couple days. It didn't even spend a whole month in theaters. It debuted in August.
This was the third week. This was its third week.
I'll say it made 800,000.
I don't even know what Borderlands is, but I'll go 1.4 million.
It's a Jamie Lee Curtis, Jack Black, Kate Blanchett video game movie.
They're all doing voiceover work?
Only Jack
Jamie
Black.
Lee Curtis and Kate Blanchett are physically in the film. Jack Black is doing voiceover.
Oh no. And it probably tanked?
Oh, it did.
It did $485,000 on 1,100 screens.
I guess, Kevin.
Man. Yeah, I don't know.
So they pulled it off of 2,000 screens this weekend.
Yikes. I mean, I did go see Borderlands. And I didn't review it because of my whole new thing of if I see a movie and I don't have anything nice to say, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. But I will say this. It debuted at a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. It has since gone up, but it debuted at a 0, and it's not a fucking 0 movie. I played all the Borderlands games. I love the Borderlands games. Eli Roth directed it. I love Eli Roth. And I like the cast, so it's just yeah, fuck it. Fuck the bad reviews. I don't give a shit. I'm going to go see it. And there was some tonally weird shit. I just don't understand people taking, an R-rated property and PG-13 it up, because you're not going to really bring in too many people that, Geoff was what the fuck is Borderlands?
Especially directed by Eli Roth.
Yeah, you got to cater to the base. It needs ultra-violence, and you can't do ultra-violence with a PG-13. But I wasn't, horribly offended by it.
No.
There were some, glaring things. The whole point of Borderlands, when the first one came out, its whole gimmick was, there's over 1 billion guns in the game. Because it just has all these different parts, and they randomly generate themselves. So if you look at all the different possibilities for gun parts that they've created and the ways they could be interchanged, it is over like 1 billion guns or something insane like that. And everybody in the movie pretty much uses 1 gun each. So it's like, I know you can't put 1 billion guns in a movie, but I don't know. Either way, sorry, I didn't even want to say anything about Borderlands.
Sorry, I digress. I made you digress. What movie did you? Oh, you're saving it for later.
I guess we could get into it. Fuck it, why not? Have you guys?
I wonder if we saw the same movie.
Was it Strange Darling?
Feels like we did, and we sure did.
Oh shit! Wow, because the whole time I don't know why this is now like a voice in my head, but now when I'm watching movies, I'm like, would Geoff love or hate this?
Oh, we're going to find out, aren't we?
And I know a gambling person, sight unseen, would always hinge their money on hate, because if you look at the track record, it's mostly hate. But I don't know. This one,
Right.
I only heard about Strange Darling because Ginger and Juice mentioned it. And
did he like it, or did he only see the trailer?
No, he thought it was awesome. And he was like, if you go see it, don't look at the synopsis. Don't watch any trailers. Just go in. And, it was an easy pitch for Carl because I on face value, I knew that it was like a serial killer type movie. And that's an easy sell. And I would say that probably is the best way of going about it. Like, don't read into it. Don't watch any trailers. Don't look for any spoilers. Like, if you go in as clean slate as possible, it's a journey. It's
true.
What did you think, Geoff?
Well, I actually followed Ginger's advice without even hearing it. I went in as clean slated as possible. I didn't watch trailer. My brother, Bill, asked me and Cheech if we wanted to go see a movie, and then put the trailer in our little group chat, and I didn't even click in. I was like, yeah, because Saturday was my fantasy football draft. I knew Sunday was going to be a lazy day for me, and there's no football or real sports to watch Sunday when we went and saw the movie. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll go see something while it's not football season. And I thought it was pretty cool, actually. I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't like my favorite movie ever, but it had like a Pulp Fiction like storytelling setup where it kind of bounced around the story to lead to like more mystery.
Yeah. Which at first I was like, I don't know. This is tap dancing into like pretentious, and then when everything plays out, I was like, I put my foot in my fucking mouth. Well done.
I thought it was a really good twist. Right?
Yeah.
Did you agree or not?
I wasn't even going to say that there was a twist in it, but there's
again, because of the way they told the story, it tells you it's a 6-chapter story in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And then it goes to, I think, chapter 4 first, and then it bounces back to chapter 2 and then 6, and then it goes all over the place.
Yeah.
So based on that, you think there's a good guy and there's a bad guy, and then it gets kind of
all right. I think it's
yeah. But you don't really know what's what until you get like mostly through the movie.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. It takes something that's kind of tried and true and breathes some fresh life into it. I thought the way it was shot, I was like, man, this is really cool. Like it is, a little art housey in some aspects, but I liked the way everything was set up. I liked the tone of it. I liked the cinematography.
The movie looked good too.
Yeah. And then in the fucking end credits, director of photography, Giovanni Ribisi. I was like, what?
Yeah, my brother pointed that out too.
Like, holy shit, he was the DP on this? And he's like the executive producer? I was like, wow. Look at him fucking broadening his horizons or whatever. Like going from an actor to a DP, I can't think of any other example. I'm sure there are, but I can't think of any other examples of that happening.
Bill was saying he was a cinematographer, but whatever, same difference.
Yeah, cinematographer, DP, or they're the same thing.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
I thought it was 2 different jobs.
No, they're the same.
Okay. All right. Well, the movie looked great, and I it's funny hearing that it was Giovanni Ribisi who did it because it did. That was like the very first shot of the movie where they're with the car chase scene. Like I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like
Yeah.
I was like in it, invested in it immediately. I will say the thing that kind of left me a little butthurt was the opening voiceover and like text screen
Oh
where
yeah.
I was I was I was under the impression or left with the impression that this was based on a real story. When I went home and I Googled it and I found out it wasn't a real story, I was like, oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah, Carl was bummed out about that too. I was like, if this story happened in real life, how would you have not heard about it? Like you are like the true crime forefront. Like if this was a real story, you for sure would have heard about it before going into this movie.
Plus, I think they said it was set in 2019, 2021, or that's like when the story was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had my suspicions even before looking up and getting it confirmed that it wasn't a true story. Because I was like, oh man, this would definitely have been, I would have definitely have heard about this.
Yeah, for sure.
But you never know. I mean, I've seen crazy fucking documentaries of stories I should have heard before, or they pretended or made seem like they were nationwide or international stories on the documentary that I was unfamiliar with. So
That's
I
true.
figured, fuck it, quick Google search, I'll find out. But yeah, I mean, the way it was shot, the way the story was told, it was like a unique spin on a serial killer movie, and it's hard to do that. And so I tip my cap to those guys. Um, who was the director? J.T. Milton or some shit.
Something like that,
But
yeah. I don't think I've ever seen any of his other stuff.
I gave it a 3.75 out of 5. That's my score.
That's one of the higher scores you've given in a while.
Yeah, I had it as 3.25, but then I just changed it after we talked about it more because I don't know. I felt like my score was light. I did enjoy it more than the 3.25, so I gave it a 3.75. Bumped it up a hand job.
Yeah, I gave it 4.25. I thought it was sick.
Nice.
Got a lot of fucked up moments, tight runtime,
Yeah,
doesn't drag anything
good
out.
kills.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. And I was like, when it was over, I was like, whew, I think I need a fucking nap.
Yeah, dude, it was heavy.
Yeah. But yeah,
I really was
strange,
like the
strange
twist,
darling. Check it out.
or the way that they told the story. I was really thrown off. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was good shit. Well, speaking of, how did your big blowout of the year Final Fantasy football draft party go?
It was fucking sick. They're always a lot of fun. This year we went to the same mansion that we went to last year, but this year the pool and the hot tub was available. So half the draft did the draft from the pool. My obesity kept me out of the pool mostly. I did put my feet in there and my feet in the hot tub, but didn't really hang out much in the pool. Just watch the horse races, ate a bunch of food,
Are there
did
chicks at
some
these
boozing.
parties?
There was one chick. My buddy's sister and her boyfriend were there because her aunt owns the mansion,
Yeah.
and I don't know, they were just hanging anyways.
See, I usually
But
don't mind my salami tits hanging out and going in a pool if it's just a bunch of dudes. But when there's
True.
ladies around, I get a little bashful about my fucking obese nipples.
I'm just not really a water guy either. Like I didn't want to like walk around with wet swim trunks all day. Like I don't know. I like being dry, so I stayed out of the pool.
Even hot tubs? Hot tubs are sick.
I guess. I was. We'll get to this. I was just gonna say how I was fucked up on mushrooms. We all ate mushrooms, like 10 of us, 11 of us.
Does that affect your draft skills?
It was after the draft we ate
Oh, there you go.
the
Okay.
mushrooms, and I was in the hot tub, like just my feet in there by myself, like and I was like, this is, if I'm being honest, I know it's a hot tub, but it's like maybe 10 degrees too hot. If we can turn it down so I can just get the water pump near my feet and get that massage going, that'd be sick. And then my buddy's aunt comes out and we're all fucked up on mushrooms. She's like, how does everyone like the hot tub? And they're all just like, well, Jeff was asking for it to be a little cooler. She's like, oh, all right. And by the time she actually turned it down, I just fucking like left the hot tub. But something I want to get your guys' thoughts on. The winner of the fantasy football draft gets to pick the keg every year. What we have in the keg, and this motherfucker picked
Zima
hard seltzer. Pretty much, yeah.
I didn't even know you could get hard seltzer in kegs.
Yeah, you got a very berry, truly hard seltzer keg.
Oh God, berry.
Yeah. I mean, what's the good flavor though? All the flavors to me sound vaginal.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of when Michael Scott, it was his birthday, and he bought like 12 feet of sub that was just like bologna and ketchup or some shit. And like everybody was like, that's the only flavor you got? And like nobody ate it except for him and Dwight. Like, was it just literally that guy just like hanging out by the keg and everybody else was like, well, I guess I'll just drink hard alcohol?
Dude, we killed the keg, I think, before we ate the mushrooms.
That's surprising to me.
So the keg it turned out to be pretty popular, and I brought like 30 beers for the group. Some other people brought beer as well, and I just drank my beer. I didn't drink any of the hard seltzer keg. Yeah, it was still kicked. So I don't know. It was a hit, even though I thought it was fucking lame.
Yeah, I'm not huge into the whole seltzer thing. Like my
not
sister,
to be like cheesy macho man about it, but it's like it's a football party. Like, what the fuck are we doing with seltzer?
Yeah, what are we, a bunch of fucking clowns shooting seltzer out of our flowers? I mean, I've had a couple flavors of like White Claw and Truly because my sister and her husband drink them. So sometimes they'll bring a few to family gatherings and stuff. But for the most part, it's like, yeah, what I can drink like one or two of them, but to get a keg and get wasted off of seltzers, that's a tough sell for me. I don't think I can do it. It's happened, but I don't want it to happen again.
No, but the hit of the party was definitely my buddy actually bought gummy mushrooms, and then my other buddy bought like a big ass bag of mushrooms. Supposedly, it's like he's a personal trainer and like has access to the most drugs that I've ever out of anyone I've ever met. And I don't understand how those two things are true, but they are. And he was like, yeah, one of my clients at the gym said he had too many mushrooms, so he sold me a fucking office garbage bag full of mushrooms for $200, for $250.
Holy shit.
He's like, I just got like this like, it looks like a fucking bag of leaves, but it's a bag of mushrooms just in my basement.
Oh, that must reek. So I feel like the last couple of times you've talked about doing mushrooms, it just makes you take a nap.
Yep.
Did you fall asleep
this time? I thought that was going to happen. I was in the hot tub and everyone was kind of feeling it and I wasn't really feeling it yet. And I kind of was like, yeah, I don't know. The last few times I've eaten mushrooms, like you said, I pretty much have slept through them or they haven't hit me. And then like 10 minutes after it hit me and it was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, but it wasn't really an eventful trip. I mean, none of them usually are. I can't really, like, I don't even usually get like that intense of visuals, but it was just like, I don't know, like 10 or 11 of us hanging out around a pool, talking shit, just talking nonsense, right? What are your favorite words? Stuff like that. I remember that being one of the questions we talked about for what felt like 8 hours, but was probably 5 minutes.
The F word. Both of them.
What are your favorite words? What's a movie you haven't seen before? Stuff like that.
Wow.
Um,
It's like you were doing mushrooms with Barbara Walters.
just talking about random topics. And the mansion is, I think it's like Airbnb'd out to rich families bringing their doing a Disneyland trip. And I talked about this last year. So like just about every bedroom has like a Disney theme in it.
Yeah.
And I went to sleep in like the Snow White bedroom. But it was fucking.
I hope some handsome prince Frenches me awake.
It was. It was fucking awesome though.
Oh wait, that's Sleeping Beauty.
Good.
What the fuck am I even talking about? You were just gonna get Frenched by a bunch of dwarves.
Yeah, I was gonna make out a bunch of midges.
No, Prince Charming is the one who woke her Snow White up after she ate bit from the apple.
Man, so Disney had like 2 sleeping ladies?
You just got shutty, motherfucker.
I guess I did.
You just got shuddied, motherfucker.
But yeah,
I see Grumpy and Stinky and Dopey. Any you guys horny? I'll run a train on you motherfuckers.
Prince Charming was also in Cinderella.
Man,
dude,
this guy
Prince
gets around.
Charming is just running through these Disney hoes.
Yeah. Who didn't he pork?
Just another notch on your belt, huh?
Well,
But my team sucks. Probably. I have pretty much the worst record in this fantasy football league over the last 5 years. The commissioner of the league compiled all the wins and losses, and I am at the bottom of the league.
I always forget that T-Bone hits me up every year for a cameo to choose the order of his Final Fantasy football draft with like a bunch of the Puminati in it. Like I got the notification, I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot I even had a cameo." It's been so long since anybody hit me up.
Paid me money for that.
Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, okay, all right, I'll help him out," even though I don't know what the fuck is going on.
There was I've been seeing videos because it's fantasy football season. I saw a video of how people do like a drinking decathlon to figure out the order of their fantasy football draft. So whoever obviously finishes first gets the first pick. You do like a flip cup, beer pong shot. There was one that threw like a football through like a tire. Then you do cornhole. Then you do a 40-yard dash.
That kind of sounds fun.
Yeah, it looked awesome.
If it didn't end with Final Fantasy football, that sounds like a great day.
Yeah. I mean, you would even have fun at this fantasy football party.
I bet I would. But it was a good
lot
time.
Of good food.
Good time again this year?
Oh, yeah. It's always fun. It's one of my favorite days of the year.
Well, I followed through on my little teased adventure from last week. The going to a rock climbing gym.
Okay.
Love it. How did that go, buddy?
Well, it was interesting.
Did I get a new customer?
I mean, I did have to pay for a day pass, so yeah.
Okay, but I'm saying, did you get a membership?
Well, funny thing about that. So, I go to this place, and I go to the front desk, and they're like, "Yeah, can I help you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just moved to the area, and this seems fun. I would like to try it out, but I don't know what to do." And he was like, "Okay, well, did you fill out a waiver?" I was like, "No, where's the waiver?" And he pointed to some iPad. So I walk over to the iPad, I fill it out, I go back to the desk, new guy, and this guy, I'm not always the best at placing where accents are from, but he kind of sounded a little bit like Jean-Claude Van Damme. And
he's Belgian, right? Belgian.
I couldn't fully understand him, and I know he was giving me a lot of important safety information, and I was like, what? A couple of times, and when he repeated it in the same exact unintelligible manner, I was just like, oh! It was kind of like the Billy Madison scene, getting help with his Spanish homework. I was like, okay! So I get given a loner pair of climbing little fucking booties, and he's kind of like pointing things out in the gym. So this place had, so the ground is essentially like 2.5 feet of mat, and there's little walking paths carved through them, but a majority of the flooring is just big, thick padding, very soft. Seems like it would be very safe to fall onto from a high distance. And he's like, all right, over there's like a few things you can climb up of, and when you get to the top, just climb straight up, go on top of it, and walk over the staircase. He's like, this place over here, as you can see, it's like sloped, so very difficult to climb underneath that. You're probably not ready for that yet. And then I saw in the back were like the super, super tall walls with all these ropes hanging. And the one time that I did this when I was a kid, that was how I did it. I had to get put in a harness, hooked to some like bungee cord, and then you just climb a wall, and if you slip and fall, the rope will just like gently carry you down to the floor below. Not the case at this place. He was like, oh, don't even look at those walls over there. Those you need to be certified to use, and you have to bring another certified partner with you to hold the rope while you're climbing. And I was like, okay.
Which is what I said.
I was like, all right, I will ignore that part. I will focus on these smaller sections over here. And then he's like, did you bring chalk? No, I did not bring chalk.
You figured the rock climbing gym would have that.
Yeah, and they did. So he was like, here, take this bag. And it kind of looked like a satchel of like magical dust that Frodo would carry or some shit. So I go into the changing room. I get into some exercise shorts and change into their mountain climbing booties, and then I go back to the climbing area. And anytime I go to a new place, like I'm having a new experience and I'm doing something solo, I always get that fear that I think a lot of people get, where they think everybody is staring at the new guy, like that Simpsons meme where they're like, oh, let's keep watching. He's going to do something stupid. When in reality, everybody's focused on doing their own shit. But I'm just so worried.
They were probably all staring at you.
They weren't, Shuddy, goddamn son of a bitch. But I was very nervous that I would grab something to start and everybody be like, "Ha! He grabbed that one. What a fucking idiot." So the guy also told me, he was like, so the difficulty levels, there's a scale to it. So obviously the higher the numbers go, the more difficult it is. And I'm expecting to look at sections of wall and have it rated with difficulty, and I'm not seeing it anywhere. So I start looking a little bit closer, and I see that some of them have these tiny little tags hanging off of them, like the starting points. So I put two and two together that the colored section, so like if it's like green little hand holes, and the green is like rated a 3, just only climb on the green ones, and you just did a level 3. So I'm like, well, okay, if is it cheating if I'm climbing up the green rocks, and there's like a purple one over here that if I grab that, it's easier than grabbing the next green? And I guess that is cheating. You're not supposed to do that. You just pick a color and you stick with it the whole way up. And then when you reach the top, there are gray rocks that are straight up handlebars. And you just grab those and you like climb down it like a ladder until you reach the end of it. And then that's a safe point for you to let go and fall on the mat. So I find a section where I'm like, okay, this looks very easy. This looks beginnery. I'm going to check this out. I look down at my magical satchel of chalk, and it looked almost like a big butthole. Like it was cinched. And I tried to like pull it open because
a dark star.
Yeah, dude just handed it to me with no instruction, and I'm like, well, how do I chalk my hand up? So I try like pulling it open. That doesn't work. Then I'm sitting there like finger blasting it like a pervert, trying to like scoop some chalk out with my fingertips, and I'm like slapping it, and that's not really working. So I just held it upside down against the palm of my hand, and then I just started slapping it like a ketchup bottle. And that got like a little bit of chalk on my hands. And then the anxiety comes back. I'm like, I'm probably out in the open doing something very stupid that anybody who's been here before is laughing at me. And then I look down at my chalked up hands, and I completely forgot that I burned my hand at that fucking barbecue, and it's making all of my blisters all pronounced. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally going to a climbing gym 2 days after getting blister burns on my fingers. So I was just like, you know what? Whatever. This is my punishment for being a stupid head. I'm going through with it. I paid the day pass. I told the Puminati I was going to do this, and God damn it, I can't let that be the end of my story.
Yeah, you can't. You gotta come through for the Puminati. You gotta at least give it a shot. Did you? Hopefully, you hurt yourself, but not too seriously.
I did hurt myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Go figure.
So I definitely fucked up my blisters. Terrible, terrible idea. And then you get to the top because these walls are, I don't know, like 20, 25 feet high, maybe. And when you're climbing on the easy ones, you get to the top really fucking quick. And it was just like, well, that wasn't very exciting. I got up here mad fast. I wanted a little bit of a challenge. So I tried a harder one, and I didn't make it past the second fucking rock. I was like, all right, I guess this is where I have to stay. I have to stay in like the bitch ass area, which is fine with me. It's my first day. But I got pretty high up on, I don't know, like a little bit of a higher level difficulty than the one I started on. And one of my hands slipped out, and I was left dangling by my right arm. And I think I've only mentioned this briefly, but my shoulder, remember when I was showing you that yoga pose, the eagle thing that Carl taught me to like stretch my shoulder out because my shoulder's all fucked?
Yeah, I try to do that at Carl's yoga class, and while balancing on one leg, and it was a struggle.
Yeah, it's tough. But apparently I have not let my shoulder heal yet, because when my good arm slipped and I'm left hanging on my bad arm, it felt like somebody swung a fucking hatchet right into my shoulder. And I was just like, ow, 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 ow. And I felt like a wiener. Felt like
Don't say it like that.
Felt like a total wiener. But I recovered.
Ow.
And I finished it, and I got to the top, and then I like crawled down the little ladder section a little bit, and then just dropped and fell to the mat. And I was like, wow. 2 things working against me that I completely forgot about. My fucked up shoulder and the blisters all over my hands. And again, I was like, I feel like such an idiot. I feel so fucking stupid right now. And I paid, so I'm going to do a couple more climbs. Fuck my shoulder, fuck these blisters. But very, very quickly, after just a couple of quick, easy beginner climbs, my forearms were just like screaming. I was like, all right, I'll do another one. Grab the things, grab the second one, went to pull myself up, and it was like 2 overcooked pieces of spaghetti. It made me useless very, very quick. So rather than return home in shame after 15 minutes, I kind of just like sat on the poofy mats and played on my phone for a little bit to kill time. And then I went back and changed into my pants and went back to the apartment. But I will say this. Had it not been for my shoulder, I would have signed up. I don't know if it's a great idea or not, because it is like $105 a month. And just doing quick dumb math, I'm like, okay, that's over $1,200 a year. That's more than 1,000. I don't make that many thousands a year. Can I really afford to just slice one off the top immediately?
Yeah, how much a month again?
105.
Okay.
So I do really want to do it, but I came back and I told Carl, and I'm just like, I just don't know what to do about my shoulder. And having god-awful health insurance, make shit like this just like a real hurdle. Like, I know what's going to happen. Like, I got to get passed around the medical community like a fucking party favor so everybody can get a bunch of fucking, what do they call those fees? The things that you have to pay?
Deductibles?
The copay,
Copays?
yeah. They want my copays, so everybody's going to be plucking copays out of my butthole before somebody even that might be able to help me takes me on, and then they x-ray my shit, and I got to pay for that. And half the time I go in, they're like, oh, I don't know, man. Fucking good luck. It's like, okay, can I have my butthole and all my monies back? No, we're keeping all that. But you have fun. So, I don't know. I'm going to try a couple of things. I have been, and I don't know if I mentioned this when I brought up how fucked my shoulder is, but like I can't even do curls with my right arm because that really hurts my shoulders.
What happened to your shoulder?
My theory is it's from decades of sleeping. So when I sleep, I like to put my elbow straight up and then put my pillow over it, and I sleep on my arm. And I feel like just sleeping like that my whole life. And I Googled it too, and it's like, yeah, if you sleep like that over a long period of time, you will fuck your shoulder up. And
did it say you will or you might? Because I've slept like that also my entire life, and I have no shoulder issues. I really think that a lot of your pain and discomfort is just from not using your muscles. So when you do use them, they scream at you. And if you fought through it a little bit, you would be in a much better spot and they would stop hurting.
Yeah,
okay.
Toughen the fuck up, bro.
I mean, I could also imagine a doctor's voice telling me that if you... That was what I did to my stomach. Remember I had that stupid ab roller wheel? And it was like, oh, I'm really feeling the burn. I'll do one more. And then it, like, ripped my stomach and I couldn't fucking do push-ups for, like, 2 years.
I think you should get into the boxing gym again. Pull a shuddy here. I feel like the best shape you were ever in was when you were training for that boxing match.
I mean, I did pass by a karate dojo, and it looks like Sensei Brian runs a pretty tight ship.
I mean, I think that would be a much more fun thing for you to do.
I'm going to try a few, because I did have fun. Like, it was fun doing this climbing thing. It was, you know, I do always have that voice in the back of my head that says everybody's laughing at me. But I saw some guy wearing like Jenkos climbing all the easy stuff, and no one was laughing at him, so I think I'm okay. But like, what's up?
How many people are at the gym? Was it like
Fucking
packed?
Packed to the gills.
Did you have to like wait to get on certain walls?
No,
or climbing apparatus.
Not
apparati?
Really. I think you nailed that, apparati. I think most people that are there aren't doing the wiener level that I was at. So luckily the wiener walls were pretty bare. But there were people doing like Ninja Warrior shit. I was like, man, look at that motherfucker. He's like swinging off of one tiny little thing, grabbing on another little node that maybe sticks out the half the length of your fingertip. I'm like, how are these fucking people? They must have like the most calloused fingers. Like, do fingers get buff? Can you get like biceps on your fingers? Because how are these fucking people doing that?
Yeah, your grip strength can get stronger, yes.
But is it visual? Like, can you have like jacked, bulging vein finger biceps?
I don't tell someone's grip strength is good just by looking at their hands.
Yeah, it's not going to be like looking at somebody with juiced up arms.
Okay. Because there was like when I was like getting ready to leave, I saw this young kid with like maybe some sort of European, perhaps German accent, and he was with a couple of newbies, and he was talking about like the climbs he does, and I looked at his arms, and I'm not trying to like goof on this guy at all, but like he looked like me when I was 17, just like literally skin on top of bone. There was not even like this guy didn't have any muscles, but he also didn't really have any definition. And I was like, man, if you're that good at it, how have you not built up any muscle and stuff? Because if I was doing that, I'd be pissed off. I mean, I guess I would be kind of pumped that I was skinny, because I wouldn't mind being skinny again. But I would like some visual representation that I have upper body strength and I can fucking climb crazy walls. But maybe one day
I don't know what a climber looks like. I feel like they're just like wiry.
They're wiry.
Well, I saw some motherfuckers in that place that were jacked. I was like, man, you got to be doing something else than just climbing. But I'm glad you're having fun.
Maybe that's what they would. Maybe they would give you the same thing, the same feedback Shuddy gave you about your weak muscles. Like, dude, not only do you got to climb, you got to lift some weights too.
Yeah, I'm going to try a couple of things. And when I say a couple of things that are perhaps a little bit easier than trying to go through the United States medical system, I'm going to try acupuncture this week, and then I'm going to go get like a professional massage and tell him to focus on the shoulder and see if that does anything. Because I want to do it. Like I said, I would have signed up right then and there because it's close. I can go early in the day before it gets like crazy packed, because apparently I just happened to luck out and somebody was backing out of a space and I took it, but the parking lot was fucking full in like early afternoon. So I can only imagine what it's like outside of working hours. But, I could start my day, just roll out of bed, get my stinky ass over in the gym, finger that magical chalk butthole, and just prepare for my eventual Ninja Warrior win. But not with this fucked shoulder. That's for sure. So, God damn it.
I think you should lift some sort of weights or do some sort of maybe push-ups. Try to build your strength up.
Yeah, I mean, I can do push-ups without it like really upsetting my shoulder, but curls and like shoulder presses, anything that like focuses a little bit more, just with each rep, it gets worse and worse and worse. And I don't know if powering through that is going to give me the results I'm after.
I don't feel like curls should hit your shoulders. Maybe you're doing curls the wrong way.
I don't know.
But,
do you take a dumbbell and go like this?
Yeah.
You do it like that?
Well, okay. I'll stand up so the rest of me is in camera.
All right, then you seem to be doing it properly.
Yeah.
What a gay curl.
Oh, do you do curls like this?
I prefer the hammer curl. The hammer gets the gains.
It's like you're jacking off
the
two
hammer,
dicks.
The hammer or I call them the fish hooks.
Oh, those ones? That's kind of like happy boy walking.
So like I do hammers and then I go cross.
Yeah, that kind of looks like Geoff during the intros.
How did it go on that Pussy's podcast last week, Geoff?
To Cloud of Minds, it went great. We did an NFL preview podcast that apparently isn't going to come out until the middle of September. So that fucking threw me off a little bit. But it was fun. I told him that I'm not taking sides against the family and that I hope you fuck him up. So it was a good time though. Two Clouded Minds. Look out for that in my appearance around, I don't know, September 11th. That fateful day.
Wait, that's when your episode drops?
I don't know. It's in the middle of September. I don't know if September 11th is a specific day, but it's a day that everyone remembers. So maybe they'll see that. All the Puma and I will see that. I'm like, oh, maybe Geoff's Two Clouded Minds podcast appearance is up now.
I'd suck a dick and prevent 9/11.
So when's the next time you are going to the rock climbing gym?
I'm gonna try acupuncture and massage. And if my shoulder feels better, if I could do some shoulder shit and it's not like someone is swinging a hatchet at it, I'm going to go for it. Because I like, even just that little bit that I did, I was sore for like 3 days. My arms, my legs, my abs, it hits everything. So it's like, all right, I can work a whole bunch of different things all at the same time. It's fun. I get to be like an inner kid climbing around on shit, swinging around like a little
Carl
monkey.
have any interest?
A little bit. She actually has like a friend she's known for a long time who was into that years and years and years ago, and after just being pestered endlessly, she did go and try it out, and she like remembers it being somewhat enjoyable. But I mean, it's cool that it's this close and relatively stress free. There are things where they tell you how to properly fall, and I was like, dude, I have a feeling this is like Mike Tyson's old quote about like all your training, all your preparedness or whatever goes out of your head once you get punched in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fucking butchering it, but essentially like they have this.
Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
There it is. Thank you. So like they have this, it's like a poster that has all these steps of falling and landing on the mat. And it's like if you fall and you put your arm out, you're probably going to break something. So you have to like either fall on your side or fall on your back, and here's how to do it. If I slip and I fall, I'm fucking panicking and I'm probably putting my arm out and I'm probably going to fucking break it. So this could be a very stupid thing for me to pursue, but when have I not pursued stupid?
Well, I like the idea of getting into a physical hobby to A, kill some time, and B, get more fit. I like your strategy and insight on that.
I'm trying.
Just hopefully you pick the right one.
I'm trying, but sometimes life throws you a Kevin.
I just don't have a lot of faith in the longevity of this mission, considering you have no interest in going actual rock climbing. Like, it feels like this would be the gateway drug to rock climbing. And when we talked about it last week, it didn't seem like you're making a face, but it didn't seem like you would ever go actual rock climbing.
No real interest. Way more dangerous. I got to put on sunscreen. That's fucking outdoors.
It was skin cancer. Yeah, you're risking a lot.
Yeah. What if I put my hand in a hole to climb and a fucking spider lives in there and he bites me?
That's it. Then you're fucking dead.
Yep. I'm not.
Actually, you don't have to go free rock climbing. But
you don't.
But
then I have to figure out how to like punch those thingies into a wall and connect to them with my little hook. Ugh. No, I'm too stupid for that. I just want to climb and have fun and maybe lose my titties.
Oh, I'm in your corner, buddy.
I appreciate that.
Even though rock climbing's kind of good.
Well, I'm not the one who was in a hot tub full of dudes this weekend.
Yeah, there was like 7 of us in there. Just broing down. Just broing down. Just talking about life.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what we do here on MSPH. We talk about life. We ponder life's great questions. Sometimes those questions are random when they come from your brain.
Sometimes.
What a goddamn
Ladies and
training.
gentlemen, it's now time for today's random brain question.
So, do you guys think it's in the realm of possibility, physically possible, for scientists to create a tube of nutrient paste that's so efficient that you could consume it, live off of it, and you'd never need to poop?
No.
At the end of the day, poop is like everything you consume, all the things you don't need fly out of your ass. So what if you never consume something that you don't need?
I don't think it's quite that you consume something that you don't need as much as it is your body doesn't process it all. So I think even if you just ate all vitamin C, you'd still poop because your body wouldn't be able to.
Your body needs more than just vitamin C, though. So there would have to be other things in there.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, but everybody's body uses a different amount of nutrients at a time. So
that's what I'm saying. If they make the paste and then they take like some blood and some samples and they're like, all right, you need this exact amount of paste every day and you will never poop.
No. I don't
I
think
kind of
there
like
is a I don't think there is any situation where our diet
situation.
gets to a point where we don't have to poop anymore.
Kind of a situation.
I, actually, yeah, I was about to say this is an actual situation.
I mean, I would kind of be
Do
interested
you?
in that paste.
But don't you like pooping? I kind of like pooping.
Not particularly. It always interrupts something that I'm doing.
But it also gives me
Kevin,
a break
so
from something that I'm doing.
but here you have to remember, Jeff, that Kevin is a fast pooper, whereas you and I,
I'll spend days on the shitter.
yeah, we see that as alone time.
Yeah.
We see that as decompression time, time to sit on the toilet and read or scroll through our phones for 20 to 25 minutes. Kevin's in and out of there. Like Kevin doesn't see it as a respite from his day that we do, even though my poops usually happen about a half hour after I've woken up. So there's been no stress of the day yet. Um,
So you guys aren't interested in my poop-free paste, science paste?
no, no. I don't want to not have that at least 20 minutes of nobody bothering me.
Yeah, dude, I'd rather eat Italian and just shit my brains out or Mexican or whatever.
I mean, you could get some Italian paste.
No, dude, I want, pasta, chicken cutlets, parm, veal. The good shit, bro. I don't want a fucking paste form.
Wouldn't it be kind of cool if you could be like, I haven't pooped in 5 years and I'm not dead? Take that, David Rush.
No, dude, like I said, I like pooping.
All right, fine.
Yeah,
Gives me time to just decompress,
you're on
lose
this
a,
island by yourself.
I guess you guys
lose a
like
little weight.
you like your a-holes getting stretched open more than I do.
I didn't look at it like that, but sure. That's what you need to tell yourself.
I like having my butthole gaped.
Kevin only likes having his butthole spread for recreation, Jeff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do it for well-being and science.
Wow. I'm trying to get in the vein of not pooping in the name of science. Well,
What's the deal with Carlapalooza this weekend? Is that still going down?
it is. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, there's this duck place that I got taken to by Carl and her mom that had the craziest Peking duck I've ever had in my life. It was so fucking delightful. They, it's all like they cook the duck. It's done perfectly with the crispy skin. They cut it for you and prep it. So literally all you have to do is take one of the many wraps they give you and dress it however the fuck you like. There's that thick, dark sauce you can put on there. There's some crunchy veggies. And holy shit, each bite is like a trip to heaven. And apparently, some fucking influencer went to that place since the last time I've been there, blew it up, and now it is incredibly popular. They have cracker-fied it, so the menus now have like English and pictures. But like if I didn't go with Carl and her mom, I would have been fucking lost at sea. But yeah, so that's where, Carl wanted to do her birthday dinner. So, and she also knows that Geoff has been dying to try this place ever since I mentioned it.
Yeah, it sounds like my birthday dinner.
Yeah. So, I mean, your birthday's
My
not too
birthday's
far.
coming.
Yeah, your birthday's not far past Carl's.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, September 3rd.
No shit.
No. I'm just going to get Korean fried chicken, I think, for my birthday. like I did last year, but I'm going to go right to the restaurant this year instead of ordering takeout. Then I got Vegas Thursday and Friday, so that week,
God
next
damn.
Thursday and Friday. So I got a nice little birthday extravaganza planned for me, multi-day extravaganza, if you will. Is Carl's mom going to dinner with us?
As of now, she is.
What are you better not piss her off, Kevin.
Well, I think I've talked about how I always, every time I'm around her, I wear a long sleeve because she is vehemently against tattoos. Well,
Really?
Carl and I yesterday were at her old condo just taking care of some stuff, and she showed up and saw me in a short sleeve.
How'd it go?
It was not mentioned.
Really?
But I mean, I don't think she's
I mean,
what?
Did Carl tell her that you had
yeah,
tattoos?
No.
they've had really.
Yeah. And every time we know we're going to be running into her, I get the courtesy tap to go put on a long sleeve.
Yikes.
Whoops.
Well, she had to find out eventually, right? I mean, you live with her
Yeah,
daughter,
like there's gonna be a point.
Yeah.
Like maybe you should have let her see the tattoos before you guys signed a lease.
No, you
No.
should not have done that.
This was like, we crossed the line where it was like, all right, it's fine if she finds out now. We just didn't realize that she was going to find out so soon after crossing that line.
Well, wait a second. Doesn't Carl have a tattoo?
Yeah, and she hides them.
Really? So wait, her mom has never seen her tattoos.
Yep. Except for yesterday.
Did she see Carl's also?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Geoff, you may be in for a hell of a meal.
I can't wait.
You might not just get a succulent Chinese meal. You might also get some dinner theater.
Hopefully it gets so tense everyone doesn't eat any of the duck and it just saves the duck for me.
I mean, you do have a tremendous opportunity to make this as uncomfortable as possible. It would just be like, oh, this duck is so good. I might go get it tattooed on me later.
We're like, Mama Carl, how about these two fucking idiots with tattoos? Am I right?
I told them not to. I told them that you'd be pissed, and here they are.
Oh my God, I'm so stuffed. I think I can only eat two more pieces of duck. What am I saying? Tattoo? I meant 2 more pieces of duck.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to hurry up and get a tattoo before dinner. Can't let you guys go down alone. I'll be right there with you in the fire. I'm a good friend.
Show up with a face tat.
Yeah, just a teardrop.
Every time I kill a duck, I get a new tear tattoo. You guys want to go with me after this and go straight to getting more tattoos?
Does Carl got a few friends going?
Yes.
Are they going to have to cover their tattoos?
No. It's
Okay.
It's Carl, and if you're dating Carl. Outside of that, it's just like, all right, well, yep, you're friends with I don't know, a miscreant.
Damn. So hopefully Carl explained to her that she got her tattoo before she met you, right?
One of them.
Okay. All right.
A couple, but I mean, it's bad enough. I have enough things going against me. I'm in my 40s. I can't afford a house. I'm unemployed. I fucking tell dick and fart jokes on the internet. And now I have tons of tattoos.
Well, that could have been the final straw. So you need to.
I will say the mood in the air did not change, for what it's worth.
Yeah, she didn't like me before, and she still doesn't like me. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Just don't wear flip flops to dinner, Kevin.
That's a good call. I mean, I wonder if at this point do I fucking bother going back to long sleeve land and be like, I don't know, you're talking about, we were painting and some paint fell on my arm. You just saw paint.
No, I think you just lean into it.
Well, what's the recommended fashion attire for the restaurant? Like, do we have to dress up nice?
No, it's not like a fancy place, but
I think you should be wearing long sleeves. I don't think you should
rub it in your face.
Yeah,
But
not on Carl's birthday.
yeah,
Unless Carl goes showing her tats.
probably not. She probably just wants to get through the dinner.
Man, this is interesting. I can't believe she didn't know Carl had tats.
Well,
I can't wait for this dinner.
yeah, you might have something to report back on next week's episode. Who knows?
I'm just gonna be like smiling watching her interact with you guys.
Geoff, you're a fucking journalist. I expect all the details.
Tat 1,
Okay.
tat 2, tat 3. Okay.
I'll do my best. I'll bring a legal pad with me and just jot down notes.
Don't go full legal pad. Just get one of those little guys.
Yeah.
Just those little hand notepads.
Well, I know a little guy who brought his legal pad today.
Are you having a good day? Well, I'm about to ruin it.
No.
This is Droopy's bad news. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, Droop.
What's up, Droopy? Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I like to let some time pass and let all the miserable, depressing news stories pile up before I pop my head back in and ruin your day.
Well, we appreciate that you only do it on rare occasions.
Yeah, you let it breathe a little bit. We don't need your fucking misery around here all the time. What?
That's true.
Man, my dog is being weird like you. She keeps going in and out of our bathrooms. Like, I know you can't use the toilet, little mama.
Well, there's a lot of doo-doo and butt smells in there. And, that's like potpourri for a dog.
Yeah.
We just like the smell of shit and ass fragments.
Guys,
Who
she'll
does?
smell every piece of poop on the street. Are you like that, Droopy? Do you smell shit on the street?
Yeah. You don't?
No. It's a dog only thing.
Sometimes I'll go so far as to give it a little lick.
I'll pee on it though, like you guys do sometimes.
If it's a particularly nice smelling piece of shit, I'll
Geoff
throw
will
it
also
also
jerk off on poo.
Oh, not on a poo outside. That's how you end up on a list.
Yeah, don't make it weird, Shuddy. He only
Jesus
nuts
Christ,
on
Shuddy.
his own turds. He's not a weirdo.
Yeah, I only wrote my own shit.
Well, it's that time of year again. It's time for
Yes.
parents to send their kids back to school and provide Droopy's bad news with more fodder.
Oh, geez.
A mom dropped her daughter off at the first day of school, but didn't see when the girl dropped her school supplies and crawled under the car to get them and drove right over her.
Oh man.
Oh.
We're starting off like that.
Don't worry, she survived.
Is there any paralysis or anything like that?
There haven't been any updates, but it horrified all the other parents waiting in the
No
drop-off
shit.
line. Talk about getting out of school, though, on the first day. I tried to convince my mom to do that to me once, and she wasn't buying it.
Was it like a hit and run? Did you know she kept driving? Like, oh man, I didn't know I was parked over a speed bump.
Thunk.
Yeah, she's probably like, oh shit, I hope that's somebody else's kid, and just got the fuck out of there. But yeah,
Oh, man.
your friendly
That's
reminder.
Terrible.
That is your
Terrible
friendly,
story.
droopy reminder. Don't run over your kids. That's a droopy don't. Look, I aim to inform and educate with my stories. Now, perhaps somebody will hear this and be a little more alert, and that will prevent them from splatting their own kid. Do you see?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
You're
You really
doing-
helped the
you're doing-
Puminati.
You're doing the Lord's work, Droopy.
I aim to please. I'm here to help everybody. In other news, A 45-year-old woman in Indonesia was reported missing by her husband. And after gathering a crew, they went out on a search for her. They discovered some of her belongings, and not long after, they found the woman. Where do you think she was?
I would say in the basement, in the husband's basement.
In the house.
You're both wrong. She was found dead inside of a 16-foot python.
Oh shit!
Jesus.
Yeah, the villagers found the massive python near the woman's belongings, and it had a huge bulge in its belly. So they put two and two together, and they killed the snake and then found her inside of it.
Was
No.
she was. Go ahead. You ask your question first, Shuddy.
Okay, it's probably going to answer yours from what I...
Yeah, I was.
Was she dead before or after the snake ate her?
I do believe that pythons will probably, like a constrictor, strangle the life out of their prey before consuming it, because you don't want anything
Right.
that's struggling inside of your stomach. You'll need to reach for the Tums after that. But
Yeah, that answered my question. I was actually going to ask, is she alive? Did they cut her out of the snake?
like John Voight in Anaconda.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, more Droopy's bad news, there's a reboot of Anaconda in the works.
Oh, that's terrible. You know, I heard they're going to make the Anaconda look like a SoundCloud rapper. This time the Anaconda's got face tats.
And piercings.
How far away from the house was the python? Like, where? How do you just run into a 16-foot python? Does that thing just pop up on the road, or did she have to go off-road for it?
I imagine that Indonesia has some very rural areas with people living side by side, or perhaps cohabitating with the local wildlife, which sometimes includes gigantic snakes.
When I Googled when a python will eat a human, it says it's rare, but it's happened in recent years, especially in Indonesia. There have been two in the last 2 years that have been two women eaten by pythons.
They only got for chicks, huh? The fairer sex.
Yeah, I think they just have an issue with eating a dude's dick. I think they're homophobic pythons.
It probably has more to do with the size.
I mean, if you don't have humans, if you're a 16-foot python slithering through the forest, are you just like eating deers or monkeys?
Yes.
Well, that sucks. Imagine shitting out a hoof.
Imagine eating a fucking python eating a deer. I feel like a deer would win that fight, right?
As long as it doesn't have
No?
horns. If it's got
I guess
horns,
I'm
it's
really-
a guarantee. They're not going to eat it.
Well, I don't know that there are deer in jungles.
No, there's deer in Indonesia, definitely.
Like warthogs and stuff. They probably eat those. Big giant pigs.
I guess I'm like not factoring in the strangulation method of the snakes enough, and I'm just kind of considering that they don't have any feet or arms or legs, so maybe they'd be easier for a four-legged animal to beat.
I mean, I used to have a pet snake. Python
Don't break
eats
character.
deer. Oh my god. No, Droopy just lets me share the mic with him sometimes.
Okay.
Oh, that is horrifying, Shuddy.
What is that?
That is
What is he
that is-
eating?
a deer.
A python eating a deer.
Oh no, I hate this. But I can't stop watching. Life in Cold Blood, yeah.
That is cold-blooded. Holy shit.
So it grabs a deer, strangles it to death, and then swallows it.
Yeah, that's how snakes
What
roll.
the
The non-venomous ones.
fuck? What do they eat?
Wow, one of the
Like,
comments
what
is
is
saying that that's the only thing that python will need to eat for a whole year. That's fucking
Yeah, that's
crazy.
what I was wondering. Like, how often do they make a move like that?
That is gnarly. I mean, when I had my snake, it got really big towards the end, and I did keep a knife nearby because it really liked dangling on my, like, draping across my shoulders, and it was just like, if this thing ever just decides, like, fuck this guy, I want to have a plan A. I want to have a way out. But luckily, it never tried to murder me. But I mean, I've seen pictures. Remember in one of the Jackass
Everything
movies?
you just said was so fucking retarded and warped. How you're still alive right now is beyond me.
Because I keep a knife near me when I'm playing with snakes.
What?
But remember when
Like-
they had the Jackass anaconda ball pit, and there was like a part where it started coiling around their legs, and they started getting like really nervous.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how they'll fucking get you.
I know, but you invited one into your home. Actually, you cared for it.
Yeah, and it was. I got it when it was a baby. It was like a little piece of spaghetti when I got it, and then over 5
Okay.
years, this thing got fucking gigantic.
How big did it ultimately get?
I mean, it was bigger than 6 feet, I would say.
And then would you just like leave it in the woods or something?
No,
That'd have been awesome, huh?
when I was moving into Weehawken with Stevie B, I was talking about, like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this fucking thing, and there was somebody fixing the hot water heater, and he overheard it, and he's like, "I'm a snake farmer. Can I have it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he like, I brought him downstairs. I showed him the snake, and he was like, "Holy shit, this is a really nice snake." He's like, "You sure you just want to give this up?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm positive. Yeah."
How much do you think?
Because it wasn't full
It could've
grown
sold
either.
for?
That thing was going to get bigger. I don't know.
Dude.
I think he kept it. I think he wanted to keep it.
What kind of snake was Smokey?
A red-tailed Colombian
You've seen this
boa.
fucking thing before?
I saw it, and he wasn't very big, but I was not a fan of him
I would
because
straight up not
He
go
was-
to Kevin's house.
he was maybe 3 feet long when I saw him. Does that sound about right? That Guitar Hero
Oh, yeah.
New
Yep.
Year's?
Yep.
He was about 3 feet long, and I was sitting on the floor in Kevin's room, and Kevin put him on my lap because I did ask to hold him. And then he started curling around my leg, and I started to panic, and Kevin pried him off of me, and that was my one and only interaction with Smokey. Red-tailed boa, you said?
Yeah. Colombian red-tailed boa. Pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what Smokey looked like in my memory. For sale.
I mean, when I bought it as a baby, it was like a couple $100.
Yeah, $200. How big do they get?
Big. I
No,
don't
no,
think
I was Googling it.
I don't think Smokey was even close to fully grown. I think they can get up to like
6 to 9 feet, 20 to 50 pounds.
okay, so it was close to full grown.
So not big enough to eat a human.
No,
But if it did wrap around your neck, it will kill you.
it was strong enough to strangle the life out of me, for sure. But yeah, I don't even think I ever told you, like, because I was working at McDonald's when I got Smokey, and I was putting money aside from my paycheck every week. So when I turned 21, I could buy a bottle of Cristal and pop it on my 21st birthday party. And I had this envelope that was, cash was piling up, and it was getting close to my birthday. And I remember I was talking to somebody, and I was telling them about like my plan, and they were like, "Have you ever had Cristal?" And I was like, "No." They're like, "Do you like champagne?" And I was like, "Well, not really, but you know, all the rappers drink it." They were like, "Dude,"
I love this logic. This is way cooler than smoking.
they were like, "You realize that's really fucking stupid, right? You're just gonna spend hundreds of dollars on a bottle of champagne, and you're not even like into champagne. Like, do you realize what a waste of money that is?" And I was like, you know what? When you put it like that, it really does seem like a dumb idea. So then I kind of bailed on the idea of getting, you know, a bottle of Cristal for my 21st birthday. And I was like, well, now, I mean, I have an envelope with $300 in it. I'm basically a millionaire. And I decided to buy a snake and a tank for it rather than an expensive bottle of champagne. And I still, to this day, have never even tasted Cristal. And it doesn't bum me out in the slightest. I don't give a shit.
How much does Cristal cost now?
I don't know. I think it was like
Taking
$300.
account for inflation, $17,000.
Is that your guess?
That was a joke. That was
Okay. There's like a lot of different options at Cristal. What's the?
I don't even.
It was like the one that was kind of like in gold foil or gold.
I mean, there's a bunch of those too.
Gold cellophane. I mean,
I see a Lewis Roderer, which is like $390. Actually, that's. I feel like that's the. Never mind. I feel like that's the right answer. $390 at wine.com.
All right, because it was like
$340.
I think it was 300 when I was saving up for it.
I mean, I've blown money on worse things.
Sure.
Specifically, but I mean, Hideki Matsuyama this past weekend.
When you're 20 and you're working at McDonald's and
you totally need to get Cristal.
You're making $6 an hour, like having an envelope in your room with $300 in it was like, I was like, I'm fucking Bill Gates. Who wants to touch me? Who wants an autograph? I have an envelope with $300 cash in it.
Like 50 hours of work.
I am the king of New Jersey. All right, I can see Droopy is getting very annoyed with me.
No one gives a shit about your fucking stupid pets. Anyway, as I was saying, did you gentlemen hear that police responded to an emergency call to Chicago's O'Hare Airport around 7:30 in the morning and found a woman in a restricted area tangled up in a baggage conveyor belt?
No.
Oh, yeah. It happened. And she got crushed to death, essentially. They found that security footage showed the woman sneaking into the restricted area around 2:30 a.m. earlier that morning, and then found her tangled up in the machinery. And about a week after the incident, the coroner ruled it to be death by suicide. That must have been a hell of a flight.
But she killed herself by jumping into a conveyor belt?
That's correct. That's the same way my grandpappy went out.
I feel like someone got away with murder.
On the list of ways to end it all, I think throwing yourself into a restricted area, Chicago O'Hare Airport baggage claim conveyor belt, very low on my list.
Yeah, that's a real there's a lot of steps that have to occur to get to that point that make it way more complicated than just the usuals, walking out into traffic, jumping off of a tall building.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Like, flying is very stressful. Take it from me. Sometimes they fucking stuff me in the belly of the plane. And it's hot in there and it stinks. But, suicide is never the answer. But I guess you got to give her points for creativity.
Yeah, she She really offed herself in a unique way.
Or, like you said, a very clever murderer just got away
I
with it.
That's what I think happened.
This reminds me of something out of Die Hard 2. I'm surprised terrorists didn't take over the airport after that. Well,
Dude.
You have any more death to tell us about, Droopy?
as a matter of fact, a man uh, recently lost control of his vehicle while driving at around 1:30 a.m. and he crashed into a church, causing a fire. And when the crews were finally able to put out the fire, they found the remains of the man driving that car. 3 days later, his girlfriend was fleeing police, and she crashed into that same church, causing her car to catch on fire, and she died too.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I forgot Droopy News doesn't have any good stories.
Yeah, Droopy's News is not, you know.
This isn't where you go to feel better about your day.
Yeah, this isn't John Krasinski during the pandemic. This is not that.
Well, I mean, you could look at it as, well, didn't happen to me.
That is true. My life's not so bad.
Yeah, I mean, that church must have really hated that couple. They killed them both one at a time.
Dude.
The woman was evading police because she was driving a BMW that she stole from her aunt. I think I would like to watch a movie based on these two.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's probably drugs involved.
I feel like if I was dating somebody and they got killed by a church, I would maybe take more than 3 days off from crime and not just immediately jump back into the swing of things and steal my aunt's BMW.
Before the body's even cold.
Yep, beware of that church. You see, there's always a lesson to be learned. So, any of the Puminati out there listening, steer clear of that church.
And where was this in Florida?
I don't know, but so you might as well just stay clear of all of them.
All of the church. Do not go to church in Florida. Stay away from all.
And finally today, a man in Thailand, Thanat Tang Tawanan, went to the bathroom to take his morning shit, and suddenly he felt a strong pain in his nuts.
I heard about this.
He stood up and found that a python was dangling from his nutsack.
Yeah, I heard this. Fucking terrible.
Yeah, apparently.
Maybe Kevin was onto something with the nutrient-filled paste.
Yeah, he says a lot of stupid things, but sometimes one of them ends up being somewhat profound.
Huh.
Droopy, would you eat a protein, a nutrient-filled paste and not be able, never have to poop again?
Yeah. You know why dogs are so interested in sniffing other dogs' shits and asses? That's where that's where your secrets lie. So if I'm not shitting, nobody can smell it and find out all my gory details. So sign me up for that paste. But back to the story, Thanet had a real struggle to get the python's teeth out of his nuts. But when he finally did, he proceeded to beat the snake to death with a toilet brush and then had his neighbor drive him to the hospital. Apparently in Thailand, after there is a monsoon, it sometimes sends reptiles up people's plumbing. So be careful. Your nuts are just like a big hanging, dangling, hairy, stinky target.
These fucking Southeast Asian snakes.
Yeah, they got a taste for blood now. Hide your wives
they're
and
really
hide your
wreaking
nuts.
havoc on the human race.
So, do we think that python was being aggressive out of hunger or being aggressive to kind of be like, yo, don't shit on me?
Yeah, maybe the python did see a turd falling on it as an act of aggression.
Yeah. Did the guy get his turd out before the bite happened? Or was this a preemptive strike? Does it say?
I mean, you guys have talked about your pooping habits. If you had to take a shit and then a snake bit your nuts, do you think that would scare the shit out of you? After you got the snake off of you, you still have to shit, right? So would you go back and poop?
I don't think I could ever shit in the same toilet that a snake jumped out of and bit me in the sack asshole region.
And sadly, I did watch an animal get scared so badly this past weekend that they did shit themselves.
An animal.
Specifically, MJ. I brought her to the boxing gym Friday afternoon, thinking that it would be just a great experience for her. She likes going out on adventures. The chirping of the round bell scared her so badly she did in fact squeeze out a turd in fear. And then also
what did it smell like?
it didn't smell. It was just one of the coaches came over and there's like, is that poop? And there was just one lone turd on the floor that was about the size of a bouncy ball.
Did you take a bullet for your dog and say that it was you?
No, I didn't. I put the blame where it lied, but she also, trying to get out of there, ripped a nail completely out of her foot on the floor, trying to escape the gym. It was horrible.
Oh my God. Who owns that gym? Michael Vick?
Listen, I did not even think about the ring bell being a problem because when I have seen multiple dogs in there and it not fazed them at all. It terrified her. So MJ will not be coming to the gym with me any longer, unfortunately.
Well, in closing, this has been today's installment of Droopy's Bad News.
Man, that guy's
What a triumph.
Guy's a bummer, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we always like to end on a down note. So there you go, everybody.
Do you hear the gardeners?
No.
Are they back?
Oh, they're back in full force.
Yeah,
Jeff must have gotten himself one of those silent butt plugs. Oh, I just got a little
plug action in your ears.
Well, that's usually that's almost like the Oscars wrap it up music. When Jeff's butt plug starts vibrating so loud we can hear it, that's the MSPH wrap it up music. But we're only wrapping up this show. If you need more MSPH in your life, please check out patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. We are a content cranking fucking factory over there. Almost daily, you're getting new stuff if you're on the top tier. So check it out. Get yourself some more jokes, some more laughs, and at the same time, support MSPH. You get to help us get a leg up on the big dogs a little bit. It doesn't have to be
help us lift our leg on the big dogs.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the fucking only the same 5 people killing it in podcasting. And you know who can change that? You, the listener.
Tell a friend, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
We
Spread
need you
the
to
word.
help.
Like hot
Thank
poop,
you.
like hot poop on a warm bagel.
Does your significant other have an iPhone? Subscribe to us on their podcast app.
Yeah. It's like
they don't even have to know.
Remember
they
how
don't even have to know.
Remember how
take their phone. Don't look at their messages. Just subscribe to the podcast app.
Yeah, remember how
don't do anything
MSPH.
shitty. Don't do anything shitty.
Remember how pumped everybody was when U2's album just ended up on their phone? That's how pumped they'll be.
Yeah.
Hey, and while you're at it,
excited.
Make sure you subscribe to Outkick Bets with Geoff Clark as well.
That's right. We already did the AFC and NFC conference previews. Next week, I'm going to connect, or actually in a couple days, I'm going to connect with my homie David, and we're going to give it our predictions for the season awards and the Super Bowl and conference championships. So that's what I got going on. Oh,
are you ready to make your Super Bowl picks? The preseason has ended, or do you need another week?
Yeah, dude, preseason's over.
Oh.
I can't even get more analysis or data. I guess there could be practice injuries, but
yeah, I guess we'll cover that in Patreon land.
Hey, give the people something to subscribe for.
Yeah.
Oh, if that's not a teaser, I don't know what is.
Get these toasty hot picks. But yeah, if you want to also watch these episodes minus the Easter egg, you can go to youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour and subscribe and like and share and do all those other things that those fucking dumb kids that play with toys on the internet say to do on YouTube. And you can also follow us on Instagram. I'm at Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
At Jeffro Records.
Getting drilled at the moment. And
what's going on?
At MSPH Podcast and at John Cooper Movie. And I guess that's about it, friends. Thank you all for listening, but until next time, woo, something.